Our first day is coming to an end, and many of you here, including almost the entire team behind Collision, traveled all the way from around the world to be here in Toronto, to meet each other, to exchange ideas, and to gather such inspiration. So from our side, we could not be happier to be in the province of Ontario, and specifically in the city of Toronto, to host all these amazing speakers and all of you, our audience. So here to welcome us for our first year in our new home, I'd like to introduce the Premier of Ontario, Doug Ford.
Thank you for the warm welcome, my friends. And thank you, Sunil, for the introduction. I also want to say a special thanks to Paddy. Paddy, the CEO, founder of Collision, chose Toronto, Ontario to come here, and come here for the next 3 years. So we thank you, Paddy, and hopefully we'll keep you here for a lot longer than 3 years. It's great to be here at Collision, and it's great to have this conference here in Toronto for the next few years, as I was saying. And it's also great to see successful companies from around the world represented right here in Toronto. And it's especially great to see homegrown innovators and job creators like Wattpad, Interaxon, and Psychera. What great companies they are. My friends, our government is committed to standing with the tech sector shoulder to shoulder. We want to make sure that Ontario is known across the globe as a place where good ideas are scaled into prosperous companies. We're committed to growing global champions here in Ontario. And let me tell you how. The most valuable companies in the world today are IP and data-driven businesses. To get more of these job-creating companies here in Ontario, our government announced last Friday that Jim Balsillie of BlackBerry fame will be heading up a new IP panel. Couldn't ask for a brighter guy than Jim. I tasked him and 4 other panelists to deliver a plan to maximize commercial opportunities inside our universities, regional innovation centers, so that you can succeed outside the global marketplace. This panel is one of the many ways we're making sure that Ontario's innovators have the support and capacity they need to grow their businesses. Because, as I've always said, the government does not create jobs. What the government does creates the environment for hard-working job creators like yourselves to create the jobs. And so far, our record speaks for itself, my friends. Over 100, these are staggering numbers, by the way, over 170,000 new jobs since we were elected 10 months ago. And that's not a coincidence. When you create the environment to thrive and prosper and grow, people will, entrepreneurs will thrive. And when I say companies thrive, people will thrive. And when people thrive, communities will thrive. But we're just getting started. A big part of our strategy is to cut the red tape and burden. Regulations kill companies. And when we went into office, they told us that we have over 185,000 regulations, total over 300,000, but regulations we can look at. We need to make sure that the government doesn't get in your way. Nothing is worse, as an entrepreneur myself, is when government gets in the way of businesses. We have to unleash businesses, unleash them until they can thrive, grow, and prosper. That's why we're cutting red tape by 25% by 2020, saving businesses over $400 million. That's $400 million by just getting out of the way. Whether you're just looking to renew your driver's license or finding a way to safely test driverless vehicles, it should be faster and easier than it is now. We know that, and we're on it. Another issue that we've heard from you is that it's impossible to sell your innovative products to the government. My friends, those days are over. They're done. Our procurement system is broken and favors large companies over small and medium-sized companies, and it's wrong to shut out the little guy. If you start a business in Ontario, if you provide quality products or services, you should get a chance to sell it to us, and I'm giving you my word, you will have a chance to sell it to us. That is why we're working on a new strategic procurement program that will help us solve complex policy problems by buying your innovative solutions right here in Ontario. We're also working hard to prove that the government can also be innovative. Last month, the government introduced the Simpler, Faster, Better Services Act. And this act, Ontario is the 4th government in the entire world to introduce digital legislation. Matter of fact, my friends, it's the first of its kind in Canada. And it will make it possible to access services online, at home, at work, or at Service Ontario. The government will become not digital only, but digital first. But for all of that, if you're considering investing in Ontario, because I know we have people from all over the world, or growing your business, the most important thing you should look at is the people. People run businesses, people run governments, people are the single largest asset any company will have. Ontario has, bar none, the best educated, the most dedicated workforce you will find anywhere. I'll tell you, we have champions all across Ontario. We have 44 leading colleges and universities. They do fantastic work. They produce more than 50,000 STEM graduates each year. We're reaffirming school curriculums to get back to the basics, focus on math and sciences. We're making sure students graduate with skills that are in demand. And we've cut tuition, by the way, the only government in the history of Ontario that has cut tuition by 10% for all post-secondary students to make education more affordable. Friends, if you're building your business in Ontario, there's no better time to invest and expand than right now. If you're thinking of coming here, because I know we have people from all over the world again, there's no better time to invest in Ontario than right now. You have a partner in our government, and if you want to expand, you want to grow, and you want to prosper and thrive, the likes of which you've never seen before, come to Ontario, invest in Ontario. Our government will stand shoulder to shoulder with each and every one of you. Thank you, and God bless each and every one of you. Thank you.